Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Fergus Dolan here from NALA. You're very welcome to our webinar on variety and fun in online learning. I'm delighted to have Carmel O'Neill and Mary Quinn from the Kilkenny and Carlow ETB who are going to be facilitating today. So over to you, Carmel and Mary.
Thank you, Fergus. So delighted to be here today to bring this webinar to you on behalf of Kilkenny Carlow ETB. And so we're going to talk today about variety and fun in online learning and how it can energize a class. You know, when we're online now, everything is quite intense. It's so different to when we were in the classroom. So it's nice to bring a bit of variety into the classroom to keep everyone engaged and to make sure that your learners are going to come back every week and have a bit of fun. So we'll move on now. So our goals for the session, Mary, you work away there?
So we just, for this session, we're going to share our ideas with you. We're not going to claim to be experts or anything. So really it's just to share what's working for us and hopefully to get some of your knowledge as well so that we can all use this like as a communities of practice where everybody shares their ideas, then interact together, give it a go, try out any ideas we share, well, some of the ideas anyway, and hopefully you'll get to have fun and an enjoyable experience doing it. So yeah, move on again.
So Mary, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm Mary Quinn and I'm working in Kilkenny Carlow ETB with Carmel, and I've been working in the areas of literacy and ESOL and also family learning, and there's lots of overlap between those. So sometimes I have taught pure ESOL classes, other times it's ESOL with literacy and also family learning classes as well.
Yeah, the same for myself. So I don't do ESOL. I focus mainly on family learning and adult literacy. So yeah, I've been working at the centre for a number of years, and we're running a lot of projects with the local school in Kilkenny, the junior school, St. John's Junior School, which I'll talk about in a little while now. So I suppose for us, collaboration is key. Without everyone working behind the scenes, like our FET director, Martha Bulger, our AEO, Sarah Barron, and our adult literacy officer, Carmel Bryan. Without all of them, you know, it's very hard to keep things up and running. And especially now that we're all online and we need to work in a different way together. So without them giving us the go ahead for different projects that we want to try, it just wouldn't happen. As well, the administration staff at the centre, Fidelma Morton, and our resource worker, Helen Walsh, she's fantastic for keeping things together, and all the tutors and the professional development and technology enhanced learning department as well. Myself, because I work with family learning a lot, we work closely with St. John's Junior School in Kilkenny. So we've a great relationship with the school principal there and the homeschool and community liaison officer. So to get projects up and running. So we do a lot of community projects together at the moment now. The Butler Gallery has just opened up in Kilkenny. So we're looking at getting something up and running there. So it's just really putting the importance on linking in with different groups in the community.
And then for the outreach and family resource centres, they're very important as well because they kind of link you into different activities they're doing. And possibly you can engage your learners in those activities as well. So it's good to get ideas from them and just to kind of communicate with them, really keep up the communication. So I have some Syrian learners and we work in outreach centres, and I'm always kind of trying to see what activities are run in the centres and how maybe they can join in any of them. Maybe they have different interests in different areas.
Yeah, we collaborated on this project when we finished up in March, when we all went online then, March 2020. This is just an idea of how working together and collaborating has worked for us. And we put together this project where learners would send in either a photograph or a quote or a story of something that happened since we all went into lockdown. And Helen Walsh, the resource worker at the centre, she had the idea of putting it all into a booklet. And so that was given the go-ahead by our ALO and our AEO, and together we produced this booklet, and all the learners got a few copies, whoever had participated in putting the booklet together. And it actually was a great sense of everyone coming together and, you know, just showing the proof of what collaboration can achieve. And it's like a little bit of history for us now that we'll have that, hopefully, when we all get out of lockdown, and, you know, it's something to look back on that time that we were apart but still working together.
And it was amazing, actually, the sense of pride they all had in their work when they saw it presented in a booklet. The idea was just great, really. It worked well.
So with all that collaboration that you've been doing, I think we can all fair to say that we're a bit like this little duck, that we were working so hard underneath the surface, but trying to remain calm and collected and be there for your classes each week, and try and find your way to navigate this new way of delivering your classes online. So one of the tools that I would use in my classes, that it's great for building a bit of energy when you're online, is the live word clouds. And these are run by the Mentimeter website, and they do pie charts, polls, and live word clouds. So we're going to give one a go today. So you will find a link to this Mentimeter website in the chat box. I think Fergus has put it in there now. And when you get to the website, there'll be a question. And if you answer that, then we should see everyone's answer live on the screen here. The live word clouds are brilliant for, you know, starting a class off, kind of reading the room, seeing where everyone is at from last week's class, then brainstorming discussions and collecting ideas for projects, and then also reflection at the end of the class as well.
Carmel, yeah, I've copied your link to Mentimeter into the chat function, so everyone can look in the chat function, and there's a message from me with the link. You can click on the link.
So you don't have to probably put in 3. If 2 even or 1 is perfect.
Oh, lovely. So name 3 things that made you smile in the last few days. Got lovely answers there. Snowdrops, birds, family, daffodils, good wine. I like that. Tea, my cat, parents group, chocolate.
Yeah, brilliant.
Fantastic, yeah. So that's a nice idea for, you know, using in class, and then everyone gets to type. Nobody knows who has typed what, so there's, you know, you can't trace back answers. So if somebody has something unusual, see my children, light food, grandson, beautiful answers there. And it's nice, and everyone likes to see kind of what everyone's been doing, and it's a way of connecting and kind of a little icebreaker as well. So these are programs that we have run with our groups that are tried, tested, and highly recommended. So the first one is
Hug-a-Book. So this is a brilliant program that was introduced to us by Lana McCarthy and Justine McDonough. So they came to us one evening and did a little workshop with us, and it's all based on the balanced literacy framework. So we really, all the time, we're referring back to this balanced literacy framework when we're developing literacy within families. And it focuses on reading, writing, and talking. So we're all the trying to introduce fun, interaction, and conversation and learning. So what it is like really, you're trying to encourage families to read books together, to get the most out of the book, to try and instill a love of reading amongst children and their parents as well. Because if you're reading and you show enthusiasm for a book, it will rub off on the child. So it's trying to develop that from an early age. Yeah, so we're really enjoying it, and we try to introduce lots of activities. Like for talking, we might act out sounds. You might try to, act out words, like different action words. Maybe you might try to make certain sounds that are in the book. So you're trying to give these ideas to the parents so that they will be able to use them with their children going forward.
And also grandparents as well, isn't it, Mary? And
yeah, exactly.
Actually, it's called Hug a Book, and that's actually what we do. I think at first when we when we started the program, we were setting it up with the parents. When we started hugging books, they're
and then eventually, like when you get to the stage where the children, when the parents are they're told the stories where the children are reading the books, what they say, "Mom, you forgot to hug the book." So when you get to that stage, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think when the children can see, even if they're not interested or they're pretending they don't want to know what you're doing, they can see Mommy has the book or Granny has the book, or there's what's she doing, and you're flicking through it and you're hugging it. It kind of makes them inquisitive then, and like Mary was saying, it brings this love of reading into the house, which is a fantastic thing. Yeah. And we've also done 6 brick Lego training. So this is with Miriam O'Donoghue. She's a facilitator of lots of different methods, but this 6 brick Lego training, it develops all the areas of child development. So the physical, the intellectual, the language, the emotional, and the social, through little games. And all you need are 6 bricks. So we have done the training. So it's an online training. There's hundreds of activities you can use. So you have your different colored bricks, and you're learning through play, and they're quick activities. So the parent or the teacher can leave their 6 bricks on the kitchen counter or on the desk at school, and they're, it's so accessible, and just quick games to keep the children engaged, or even if it's before homework, to try and kind of get their attention again, or even as a treat, look, we're going to play a game when you've done that. So there's
I'm sorry, I wonder if any of you have heard about it before. I know lots of our colleagues in Kilkenny have, but it'd be interesting just to see if anyone else has used it.
I can see, Mary, from the chat function that a few people have, and very positive. And there's a question here, Mary, who chooses the book in Hug a Book?
Well, I suppose it's kind of a joint effort, really. Usually Helen, I suppose, would give us the ideas, and then tutors and Helen, we'd come together and try and decide on the book. And it's actually, the way we work it is we kind of make it like a surprise for learners. And they don't really know what book they're going to read. They get it in the post, the book is posted out, and it's kind of building the excitement before class. They don't know what's there, and then they'll open the package maybe the morning we have class, and it turns out to be a lovely surprise. They like some books, they won't like others, but that's all part of it, doing a review of the book and trying to get their opinions and everything like that. So that's kind of really the way we work it. Okay.
So there's also another program run by Miriam O'Donoghue, and it's Zoomagizers. So these are quick activities that can be used as required during online classes. So they're useful when participants need energizing and a bit of fun to help support concentration and engagement. So these are great to kind of punctuate your class time. A bit of fun. We're going to try one out later as well. So if anyone needs the information of where to get the Zoomagizer training, you can contact myself and Mary, but it's well worth it, and I hope you enjoy the one we're doing later. So what works for us?
What works for us, yeah. So pre-class, we try to collaborate and research. So I know everybody is tight for time and everything, but as much as possible, we try to get ideas from other tutors and do our research. Everybody does this. Have a plan. It's always good. You know yourselves when you go into class, if you don't have a plan, it doesn't go as well as when you do have a plan. Send a little reminder. I know for some of the learners I work with, it works if I remind them kind of a little bit ahead of time that, listen, our class is at this time. Even though we do have it in the calendar and everything like that, it's good to just kind of let them know. Same time, same place. We find as well that if you stick to the same time, it builds a routine, and generally you find, like, I know initially it was difficult. Sometimes learners maybe weren't coming, but once you kind of build a routine, they kind of learn to know that, yeah, class is at a certain time, and they try to come. So for the Hugabook in particular, we post out things, but also for, you know, ESOL and other areas, post out worksheets and provide a self-addressed envelope so that they can post things back. And also maybe put something in an envelope, like a little surprise, like a piece of chocolate, a piece of merchandise, you know, like an ETB pen or a highlighter or something, a little sachet of cappuccino, something that will try to encourage them to come back again. And of course, these are all thanks to our ALO for allowing us to do this. So that's Carmel Bryan. I have to mention Carmel.
Yeah, Carmel Bryan, I suppose she lets us away with a lot. So yeah, I think it's nice to receive something in the post, especially during these times. And you know, and a lot of the parents were saying that the children were really looking forward to getting something in the post, you know, and they're excited about what book it's going to be, especially for the Hugabook, like you were saying, Mary.
Yeah, yeah.
And who doesn't like to get chocolate in the post? So during the class then, to, you know, the importance of creating a supportive, relaxed and friendly environment. And I know we all try and do that, but it's even harder when you're trying to do it online. Just to check in with everyone, to know something personal, how's your dog, Spot, or whatever the case may be, and know, just to build up that relationship, provide opportunities for involvement in external groups. So say, for example, with our family learning group now, we're doing a virtual St. Patrick's Day parade. So we're trying always to link in with groups or projects that are running around the city. So we feel like we've still got community, even though we're not in the same room together. And this one here, linking in with internal and external groups. So I suppose linking in with other tutors. Maybe you have a small class of 2 people online and you want to, you know, build a bit of rapport. You could add in get 2 tutors to join together and put their classes together. I think you tried that, Mary, didn't you? And it went well.
Yeah. So we just had some learners in Mooncoin and Thomastown, and we just brought them together, really just because one of my learners was on her own in a house, and just to give her a little bit of support, I suppose, that she knows there are other people there, and just an extra dimension for her. And it worked well. We're going to try it again, but that was our initial kind of stab at it. So we'll try it again and maybe try other groups as well. And also with the external groups, we got involved with the 1 Million Stars program, which is open to everyone really. It's an inclusive program, and it's kind of, it's weaving stars, and it's a way of showing solidarity against domestic violence. But anyone can actually engage in it, and we have contacts for who to contact there if anyone is interested in that. So some of my learners found that very beneficial actually, because they ended up meeting with a Syrian lady, and I think she's on television or something in Syria, and they just found it brilliant to chat to her, and they kind of go every week, which is brilliant. So yeah.
COVID-free zone. What we mean by that is just not mentioning COVID, I suppose. Like when we have that time in a group together with our learners, that, you know, we just don't mention the elephant in the room. So just keep it all very light-hearted and fun.
I think we probably did talk about it initially, kind of back in
Yeah.
March, and use it for, you know, there was some good material there for resources, but now, you know, over time, you just can't keep talking about it because
Yeah.
you lose
Yeah.
interest.
Everyone's sick of it at this stage. So the atmosphere as well. So to build the trust and permission. Also, you know, with the little games we were talking about, the Zoomagizers. So some of them would be, you have to act a bit silly. But if learners don't want to get involved in that, so that they feel that they could turn off their camera or just observe rather than feel they have to join in. And then maybe in a few weeks' time, then they might decide, you know, that they'd like to get involved as well. The conference calls is a good one, actually. Just a little tool for, I have two learners, very small group, two men. One of them doesn't have any, well, both of them have no internet access, but one has a smartphone, the other one doesn't. So what we do is we do our class on a conference call, where now it's not available on all phones, but on some phones you can merge calls together, and it means the three of us can chat then together and do our coursework. So it actually works out great, and they're really enjoying it. The positive feedback then, just to be able to say, you know, how well everyone's doing, and it's great. I think I'm shocked personally with how far my learners have come and getting online, and it just, a pat on the back always goes a long way. There's learners that, you know, that it would have been completely alien to be sitting down now on a laptop and joining a video call, and it's working great, thankfully, but it does take time, certainly, and you need all the little incentives you can.
Yes, so during class then, just to introduce fun and games, dress for the occasion, that kind of came up as part of the Zoomagizer. So like for Christmas, you might wear your Christmas hat. For Valentine's, wear something red, that kind of thing. St. Patrick's Day now is coming up as well, so maybe something green for Patrick's Day. Virtual tours and use of videos. So like the Butler Gallery that Carmel talked about, you can, so like you might have local ones that are of local interest, and also just use of videos in general. I think online they're brilliant because they engage the learners. Sharing children's work. So again, trying to give them positive feedback. It's kind of a way of commending them for their work. Inviting a guest speaker. Now, I haven't actually personally done that, but I think, Carmel, you have experience of doing that, have you?
Well, actually, tomorrow now we're looking forward to a guest speaker. We have a group of about 18 learners that come together online every Wednesday and Thursday. And tomorrow we're having a guest speaker from Kilkenny County Council, and she's going to talk about green cleaning products. We were with her, she came to us earlier on in 2020, where she spoke about just general recycling, but now we're going to look at cleaning products and how to make them at home using vinegar and baking soda, I presume, something like that, but it'll be a bit of fun. Yeah, the learners have sent out, or they have been sent out a few leaflets about the talk tomorrow. So she'll spend about an hour online, you know, answering questions and chatting, and it just breaks up, I suppose, gives a bit of variety to kind of, you know, from the norm of class, you know, because normally in our group setting, we used to anyway have guest speakers, say, every quarter. So it's nice still to kind of stick to that routine.
Yeah.
Also the together mode, you know, when you're working on teams, the option of putting everyone in a together mode, it's like a cinema seats. That works really well for a bit of fun. It's not on all the learners' devices, but we can put them in together mode on our computer and then share the screen, and everyone gets to see themselves in the cinema. And some people look really small and some people look really big, and then you have somebody sneezing on the person next to them. It's actually good fun, you know. It's a bit of fun just to break up the class, and then collaborating together towards a project. As I was saying, we're working on the St. Patrick's Day together, virtual tour, you know, working together towards maybe making a poster and things like that, and everyone having their input.
or making a book actually, and we'll cover that later with Book Creator. We'll talk about that in a little while. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary, just to interrupt you, somebody's asking, is it Zoom you use for these events?
So no, we're actually working on Teams. I know I did initially start on Zoom, but I changed over to Teams because I had planned to kind of get going with OneNote and all those kind of things. But it's the same really for either, to be honest. It could be done with either anyway. So whatever you're comfortable with, I suppose.
Okay, thank you.
So as Mary was saying there earlier, building the excitement for the next class for next week, maybe give a hint about what you're going to do, give a reason to return. So, you know, just a little sneak peek of what we might be doing next week, or bring such and such a thing, you know, and everyone's thinking, oh, I wonder what that's about. I better go and see what's going on. And then, of course, for us to reflect on what worked and what didn't work.
And so you can, like with your learners as well, just to chat about, yeah, ask them at the end of class, did you like that? Or how did you get it? How, you know, will we do it again? Or just to get their feedback and if it works for them. Yeah.
So I find with family learning especially, well, a lot of the groups, just to keep the connection, to always have, like, say if we were doing a hug-a-book, and say for example, The Bear Who Went Boo, that was one of the books we covered, and he was in the Antarctic, and we asked, would everyone do an experiment with an ice cube? So some of the learners then posted pictures of the experiments that their kids carried out, and it's just to keep that connection after class. And then planning for something bigger. We, with Hug-a-Book in particular, we would plan a bigger event. Say for Christmas, we had a Christmas bonanza where the learners would ask their friends and family to join us online. And actually from that, then we've had a lot of people join we've had 2 new Hug-a-Book groups being set up off the back of that. So also responding with positive feedback for any kind of posts that were put in the chat, and then to be able to just keep in contact through, we would use the Teams chat now on Office 365 in our centre, and just to keep in touch through that, and so everyone knows that we're all together and no one's being forgotten about. And especially if learners have gone to the trouble of going and drawing a picture or making an experiment with a child, that everyone can see it online, and all the class can give feedback and say well done or a thumbs up or whatever. Okay. So
before we do that, Carmel, I wonder, will we just look at some of the, is there any more questions in the chat, Fergus?
Yeah, so Liam Kerwin's asking, does 1 year on make a big difference?
1 year on from when we started the Hug-a-Book, I wonder.
That's what he means.
Well, I'm only started probably since January, so Carmel, you're probably better able to answer that one.
It's for the Hug-a-Book in particular, is it, Fergus?
He doesn't say. I would imagine so.
Well, if it's the Hug-a-Book, definitely. 1 year on from that, we have found that, like now saying that we have 2 other groups that are running, we have now moved our original Hug-a-Book to, we look at a book over 2 weeks rather than the group getting a new book every week. So we can go a little bit more in depth into language and, reviews and working on different frameworks for the children with, writing reports and things like that, and nouns and pronouns and adjectives. And, we're delving a little bit deeper. As regards online, 1 year on online, it's certainly a lot different now than it was when we first started. I mean, I think for the first 2 weeks, personally, I buried my head in the sand. I was going, how am I going to do this? And then you just find a way to make things work, and you get a bit of a routine for connecting online and getting your class. And now it's really enjoyable. I think especially, but you have to keep the fun in it. Otherwise it can become quite intense, because there's no outside influences, like somebody coming into the room to pick up something, or, it's very full on being in an online class. So yeah, I think definitely to keep the fun and keep it light is important.
Okay,
So-
thanks.
Somebody asked about the age level for the book.
Yeah.
Usually when we're doing it, it's children that are at home, the others have probably gone to school. But at the moment, during online learning, everyone was at home. So any child that was available basically were, if they were interested in listening and getting involved.
Okay, there's a question from Mauricia. Do you use the artwork in the Butler Gallery for your sessions?
We haven't, I think it was just the virtual tour we were taking a look at, so we hadn't used the actual artwork, but yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's one more question here, Carmel. Could you talk a bit more about the different groups you work with?
Absolutely, yeah. I work with the group on a Monday. We're actually doing child development and play level 3. So that is a lot of theory. So I'd work through Office 365 with them, and I'd post the assignments then through the Teams app. And that's working very well. Everyone knows because the parents involved are young parents, they've got a good grasp of technology, so that works really well. So there was really no hurdles with them so much. The Tuesday group I have, we're doing a hug a book. So there are, most people are good with technology. But say I work with a group on a Wednesday and Thursday, there is people there that would never have used technology, didn't even have a smartphone. But we have been working since last September trying to get people online, and even while we were in the centre, just gradually getting everyone used to whether it be an iPad or a laptop. So with those groups, we're just trying to keep the routine of as much as we had when we were meeting in person. So just like I say, with the guest speakers or having a treat, or say, for example, with that group now with 18 learners, we each split into our own classes with our own tutor. And then at break time, 20 past 11, we always meet for 20 minutes and we have a chat, and we make sure everyone has brought a cup of tea, and we might have sent something out in the post, like it could be a chocolate coin or a small bar or something like that, just so that we can have that nice time together. And then we'd always do a Zoomagizer or some activity, game like that to have a bit of fun. And then that's, on a Friday then we have the family learning. Yeah, so they're my groups now.
Yeah, so for my groups, they're Syrian learners, and also I'm involved with Hugabook, which are Irish learners. But so like initially like that, there were some issues connecting and getting online, but eventually I think through their children as well, they helped them to get online, because the children are very good with all the apps and things. But what I ended up doing was splitting some of the groups. So some were better able to come online later, I suppose, and others were happy to be on earlier. But I try to have a few definitely in the groups, because I think it helps the chat and the conversation, that they can interact together then. If you have a very small group, it's more difficult to do activities and things like that. So, but it's working well. They're interacting, and it's going well, I think. So, but actually on the point of online learning, like I have one really weak learner, there's literacy issues there, and like he has even managed to be able to interact and do a Kahoot, which is fantastic. And the fact of them, it took a while to get online, but they're managing it fine now. So.
And Mary, there's one more question here about Hugabook. Is there a website available to find out more about Hugabook program?
I'm not sure if Lana and Justina have a website, but I'm sure there's something. But they're based in the Ballymun, I think.
Yeah, Ballymun Resource.
Ballymun,
they have their own website there, and
I think if you look up Young Ballymun, isn't that it?
Yeah, Young Ballymun, Lana McCarthy, Lana, Lana McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so is everyone ready for a bit of fun? So today we're going to do.
We can't see the faces.
I know, yeah. You're wondering if anyone's there or not. So we have this game. It's a Zoomagizer. So we've adapted it a little bit for today. So it's called a 60-second dash. So you're going to have 60 seconds to dash around either your home or your office for items that start with the letters F-E-R-G-U. And just in case you were confusing Fergus with Fergal or anything like that, you'll remember now his name is Fergus. So you're going to have 60 seconds. I'm going to put a timer on my phone now. And then what I'd hope is that when you have your items beginning with F-E-R-G-U-S, that you maybe about 4 people might feed back and just show us what you've got. If you didn't mind turning on your camera then just to show us. So if you just bear with me now.
I think they're gone already, Carmel.
Let me see how many numbers have dropped off. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer now. Let's see who's running around there now. So I suppose I'll have to stop sharing for this then, won't I?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how they're getting on.
You're not running yourself there, Carmel. We should be.
Yeah, we should be doing this too, Mary. A bit of exercise. Okay, time's up, everyone. Any volunteers who'd like to come on screen and show us what you've got? You can, unmute yourself. Any volunteers?
Okay, I don't mind.
Who've we got? Sheena.
Claire here.
Oh, Claire.
Okay.
I have a pathetic contribution. Folder,
More pathetic, the better.
Yeah. Folder, brilliant.
Oh, and a file. Sorry
Oh.
for that, guys. Glue.
Brilliant.
A miserable fail. I was going to go and get an egg, but I didn't have time.
Oh well, give it a go, Claire.
I got them.
Well done.
Oh, brilliant. Go on, Sheena.
Okay, I got them. I actually nearly broke my neck to get them. Okay, what was the F again? We'll start at the beginning. Oh yes, F. Fruit.
Brilliant.
Good.
Okay, E. Egg.
Oh, lovely.
Very healthy in that house.
Yeah,
R. Radio.
lovely.
What was G? G. Oh yes, G. Our favorite gel.
Good, good. Yeah.
Too much for that.
Yeah.
And I even got it with the county colours. Can you see it?
Oh, brilliant.
My Kildare umbrella for
Oh,
my
lovely.
Kildare GAA, which I don't get to anymore, but I will one day again. That's you. And S, sugar.
Oh, fantastic.
Lovely.
Okay. That's what, Sheena.
Got it. Very good fun. I'm going to do that with a group, definitely.
It's great. Yeah, great for
Very
kind
good.
of getting everyone up and running around, and sometimes might get
Absolutely.
away from the desk.
Absolutely.
Anyone else like to show us what?
Can I give it a try? Can I give it a try?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, I had F for
Fair.
fruit,
Love,
E for envelope,
very good.
R for rubber,
Good.
G for ground turmeric. That's all I could come up with for the G.
Very good, impressive.
U was the umbrella.
Yeah.
S is myself, Sarah. That was it.
Oh, very
Good, good, good.
excellent.
Anyone else have any mad ideas there or many mad things?
I got a remote and a flower, a game of cards, a box of sweets, and a bowl of eggs. I didn't get the umbrella.
That's brilliant.
Hi,
Thank you.
Margaret here.
Hi, Margaret.
I got F, firelighters.
Very good.
E is eggs. I'm moving them all around the place. R is ring.
Oh, very good.
I also had a flask for Fergus
Oh,
and fruit. E for envelope. And I think that's all I got.
that's great,
That's
Mark.
brilliant.
Yeah, so you get the
Just to add to the mix, I did very badly, but I have a nice fiddle case.
oh, very good. All the
I got a fiddle and eggs.
that's
was
great.
I think there's
Very good
eggs
fun.
in every household. Well done on the eggs.
Yeah, that was great fun.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's, you know, a bit different, and it's nice to see what everyone comes up with as well. I think we all know you're all very healthy and you're prepared for the weather anyway, so that's a good thing.
At one point, I was wondering how to bring over the fridge to all of you.
So you can use those, like you can use those with kids, with adults love them as well, as you can see, and you know you can use them across all your lessons. It's not just necessarily huggable for, you know.
I got them all.
Oh, you did you, Amanda? Do you want to show us? Fork, yeah.
Earphones.
Brilliant.
Rennie.
Oh,
Gum.
yeah.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
Oh, another umbrella.
Scissors.
Lovely, lovely.
Great.
Great one. And you can also do that as well, maybe just for Valentine's Day now. We did it with just everyone dashed around looking for as many red things as they could hold in one hand. And that was good fun too. So you can adapt it that way, you know, or you could add in kind of numeracy or, you know, your literacy with the letters and that. Okay, so I'll just go back here to our PowerPoint. Well, how does that feel, Fergus?
Fantastic. It was great game. Great buzz. Yeah.
It is good. So there's Fergus now, and he knows what you found. So you can see my screen now, can you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Hang
You'll all remember it's Fergus now, yeah.
on. So
Not yet, yeah.
here now.
Just before you, Carmel, there's a message there from Helen Walsh saying they can send on the COVID book to anyone who send it via PDF. We transfer, so maybe if they send me their email address, I'll forward on to Helen Walsh. Thanks, Helen.
Great. Yes. Thanks for that, Helen. There you go.
Yeah, we can see your screen now, Carmel.
That's great. Okay. I'll skip on here too. So there he is. He was wondering, what did you find? So what we learn with pleasure, we never forget. And I think there's definitely truth in that saying. You know, it's always the things you have fun with most that'll stick in your mind. Definitely, for sure. Here's our parents group. This is our actually Hug-a-Book group from last Tuesday. Now I did spring this video on them. So there's a little bit of stop-start, but it's just to give you an idea of what the parents themselves enjoyed from the groups. So one sec there now.
I was just wondering, what do you enjoy about class the most?
The giggles and social interaction.
It's great, Fran. Thank you. Anyone else? Any ideas? Or why do you come back every week?
The books.
The books, yeah.
It's fun. Get you having your own time.
Yeah.
You get to interact with other adults.
Yeah, do you enjoy the chat, Sinead? It's nice to be able to meet up and have a chat.
Yeah.
And what about any
of the lockdowns as well, because it's hard being home all the time, and then when you have to go on and have a little bit of a giggle and forget about everything else for a while.
Yeah. And what about any of the games? Are there any games in particular that you enjoy? Like, what activities online that we do together do you enjoy?
Game where you have to go look for things with certain letters and stuff. That does be fun.
Oh yeah, like the 90-second dash around the place for things.
Yeah, but how much you can hold in one hand.
Very good. And what about any of the Lego games?
Oh, they're all good, yeah.
Yeah. The balancing ones are funny.
Yeah.
Making the Lego family.
Stories and stuff.
Building up the stories, yeah. And then it's nice to recap on what everyone's done then, isn't it, from week to week?
Yeah, see everyone else's stories as well.
What's it like having the children?
Yeah, they like getting involved and interacting with it.
Yeah, before we never had children, did we?
No, sure.
There's Sophia there now.
Sophia loves reading the book out to you, where she wouldn't have done that before either.
And do they like getting the books delivered or in the post or?
Yeah.
You don't mind, I'd like to have a book.
Emily just trying to open it as soon as it comes, yeah.
So it's a bit of excitement then, is it, Sinead?
Yeah, whereas before it was just my thing kind of, but since she was off school, she loved getting it and opening it and coming on camera and all. She was disappointed there this morning that she wasn't here. And some of the kids took the books to school, did they, for their reading time?
Yeah.
Or was this the other? Yeah.
I think the children like seeing the adults learning too.
Yeah, I think Noah's going to join us.
Pardon?
They'd be delighted to know that you're going online then, or Elizabeth, for different reasons for doing your classes.
It's like, because Samantha's doing class, now she sees me doing class, it's kind of like, okay, seems more interested in what I'm doing.
Yeah, and it's the norm then. Yeah. Everyone's doing it. Yeah.
It's nice bit to end on there with Elizabeth saying, you know, that her daughter sees her going online for her classes, and then she's encouraged to, you know, get online to do her schoolwork as well when they're at home. Yeah, so that's a great group. Now the parents there would know each other from the school in Kilkenny. Some of them now, not all of them, but there's a great camaraderie within that group altogether.
I'm just wondering.
Oh, sorry.
I just want.
No.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about Cahoots, and I know there probably was a webinar on Cahoots a little while back, but we just wanted to give you an opportunity to try one out and experience the fun of using one. So maybe you'd like to type in the chat, do you use them or not, and maybe what's working well or what you've used them for. So just to get an idea, have many people tried them or not? Okay, and so why do we like them, or why do we use them? Well, personally anyway, I think they motivate and engage learners and consolidate. You can use them to consolidate their learning. They definitely add energy to the group. They're very easy to create. All you do is log on to kahoot.com, click create, and start creating your questions. The content you create can be varied according to the needs of and level of your learners. So just to convey an experience I had with two learners, one who was a really low level learner. I was having a class and I'm not sure exactly what we were doing, but I could see by his face that he was kind of zoning out. So I decided just to try a Kahoot. And I had one that was relevant. The vocabulary was relevant to what we were doing. But we started the Kahoot and his daughter kind of helped him to get on to it. And his wife was also playing the Kahoot with him. And usually his wife is a lot better than him at things, you know, and she likes to tell him she's better. And so he started on it anyway. And as it went on, he was getting more questions right than she was. And I could see in his face that he was actually delighted with himself, and it really changed the mood for him in the class. And at the end, he was the winner of the Kahoot, which was fantastic. Like, for such a low level learner to get such a buzz out of it, it really, it kind of brought it home that how good they are, I suppose, the Kahoots. So we're going to try one now. So if we move to the next slide there, Carmel. Yeah. So we're going to actually use a Kahoot in, you know, remember we were talking about every so often having a kind of a fun event, a big event. We're going to have an Easter extravaganza Hug-a-Book class. And within that, we're going to try using a Kahoot. And the book we're going to cover is Barney Goose, and it's by Kilkenny author Caroline Tracy. And it's kind of all about Barney's adventures along the wild Atlantic way, and it's a gorgeous book. It's a really gorgeous one. So maybe we'll go to what you need to do then to get started. So if you go to kahoot.it, so you need to do this on your smartphones. Take out your smartphones and go to that website, and then you will see a pin coming up on screen here shortly. It'll just take a second now for me to load it. So you're all okay with those instructions there, are you? I'll share my screen now with you for it. Okay, so we're going to play a classic version here, which is player versus player. You can also do team versus team. So when I click classic here, it's starting to generate the pin number. So just looking in the chat there, Fergus, have many people played the Kahoot?
Yeah, a few people have said that they use it. More people have said they use it than they haven't, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. A lot of people are using it then. So a good number of people joining, that's great.
Even the way it appears, the Kahoot, the colors and everything, the way you can use the tool, I suppose, it's lovely and appealing to people as well. It doesn't look too complicated for learners.
I can't actually see the play button now.
Mary, there's an interesting point from somebody. She said, Claire Gallagher, I use Kahoot to check the learning at the end of a session, in brackets, summative assessment.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah. Like, it's definitely good for vocabulary, and you can basically make it up to suit whatever learning outcomes you're trying to achieve. It's not the be all and end all, but it's great to change it up a bit. So, are we still waiting on a few? How many is that, I wonder?
You could go on, Mary, because sometimes not everyone joins.
Okay, so we click start and away you go. Okay, so how many counties make up the wild Atlantic Way? So you just need to click the color on your phone. Seconds. Okay, so 9 was the answer, and how many people got it right? 5 got it right. Okay, well done to the 5. So lots of people thought it was 8. So what county were you missing, I wonder?
Leitrim.
Leitrim, maybe, yeah.
The 2 or 3 kilometers of Leitrim touch the coast.
Okay, next question. Okay, so who's in the lead? Nelly's in the lead. Well done, Nelly. Birds of a feather flock. Good, I hear a few laughs there.
That's not you and me, Mary, is it?
Good resemblance there, I think, Carmel, yeah. Okay, well done. See, and it's good actually to put in some questions that people will get right so that people don't get deflated.
Nellie's good at this, whoever she is.
Mary, just interrupt. I have a quick question from Sheena Groom saying, I don't have a smartphone and don't know how to go back to browser without disconnecting from this session. How would a learner accessing the class through a smartphone join a Kahoot?
Maybe we'll chat about that one in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, just so barnacle, yeah, that's a barnacle. Well done. Okay, so 11 got that right. Oh, Kaz has gone to the top. Well done. So people in this county, I hope you come up trumps here. Okay, well done.
7. Very good.
7, yeah. Oh, Nellie's back up. Well done, Nellie. Yeah, Hillary in second. Well done. And MC, Joe, and Kaz again. What is the word for a female rabbit? I'm just disappointed I can't see all your faces because I'd love to see your reactions. Okay, good. Okay, you need to brush up on your rabbits. Hillary, great. Next one. I think this is the 7 questions. Okay, so we have 2 more. We're nearly there. Anyone recognize this beach? Okay, that's a bit of a tough one because a lot of beaches look similar. So again, people in this county might fare well.
Very good.
Well done. Okay. Last one. Joe is on top.
Oh.
Very close, very close.
It's all changing.
True or false? You are brilliant.
Definitely true.
I can see one person's face on the screen that they're smiling, so that's good. I think I probably should have made the timer a little bit less. I'm giving you too much time. Okay, great. 24 got that right. Good, good, good. Okay, so that's the end of that. Let's see who are... Nellie came out on top in the end. Good girl, Nellie.
Very good. D and Nellie.
M. Oh, we had a dark horse in there until the end. Well done. Okay, brilliant. So I'll just stop sharing that now. Okay, how did you enjoy that? Good, good, good.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Okay, so I let
great.
the
Very good.
Okay. Do you want to share the PowerPoint again?
Okay. Should be seeing it now, are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
After freezing on me there, just bear with me a sec. Seems to be stuck.
I can't advance it, yeah.
going to do it again, lads, just to.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Carmel.
Oh, it just won't move on for me for some reason. I may have to get you to share.
Okay. Yeah, so. Okay.
Yeah, that's technology. It can let you down at times. We've all experienced that. Yeah.
Definitely.
So there's a lot of people saying that was brilliant fun, great way to end the class with a buzz. The Kahoot, they love that Kahoot quiz. So thanks for that.
Yeah, it's lovely to see everyone smiling, isn't it? You know, it's great, and you know everyone's enjoyed the class.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not in presenter mode now, but
we can still see your slide.
Yep, that's not a. Sorry now.
No worries.
Right now. No, for some reason I can't present, but anyway, we'll. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's just one example, I suppose, of a good online tool. And then we have a book creator. And I can present now, sorry, it's just after coming up, it was just a little slow there. Sorry, I went back to the start again. Okay. So I don't know if any of you have used Book Creator before. You know, it's after freezing on me again now. Sorry, guys.
Do you want me to try again there, Mary?
It's back now, just 1 second. Sorry, Carmel. Yeah. Okay, nearly there.
Yeah, Claire Gallagher is there saying you can get 3 books in for the basic account. You make 3, is it?
For
Book Creator.
Book Creator.
Yeah. I think you can get I thought it was 40 books you could get on the free account. So you can have a teacher login and a student login.
Okay, and it's a lovely, I mean, the visuals on it are lovely. And then you can add in audio as well, can't you? Another feature it has.
Yeah. Sticking again, sorry.
I love the Kahoot idea though, because kids in primary school use that a lot, so they'd be able to help their parents and have fun as a family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here eventually. Yes,
Right.
so yeah, so why I found it work for some of mine was that it can be difficult to find exactly the material you want, so you can just customize it and personalize it to suit your learners. The audio is brilliant because you can put your own voice on it. You could actually get your learners to put their voice on it. You can reinforce vocabulary and grammar on it. Yeah, and learners can create their own books. The only problem I had was if you want to read it outside of Book Creator, it's not so easy. You have to read it within the website itself. So here's an example of a book I created for 2 of my learners. And this came about, we were chatting one morning, I was talking about Mother's Day. And I said to Fatima, you know, maybe someone in your house will make breakfast for you for Mother's Day. Wouldn't it be great? And there was no answer. I don't think they were kind of understanding the whole thing. And so I said, well, what do you have for breakfast? And again, they said a word and it wasn't an English word. So we were trying to figure out what they had for breakfast. So I said, look, Emad, go show me what you have. Show me what you had. So he went to the cupboard and he found a packet of porridge. So the conversation developed from there, and we decided we'd create a book on how he makes the porridge. And it was kind of a bit of fun, really, because he doesn't actually make the porridge. It's Fatima that makes it. So it's just little bit of a fun we had with it. So these are some of the pages of the book. And these are the toppings they can add. And I just added a few pictures so that we could have more conversation about those. And the audio, when you play the audio at the top here, read to me, it's a computerized kind of audio. But this one here you can customize yourself. So these are the last 2 pages then. And it tastes just right because Emad has made it and he doesn't usually make it. So that's that. So yeah, so then now we'll move on to the next thing that Carmel might speak about.
Sorry, Mary, can I just ask, what's the website for the book creator?
Sorry, yeah, it's bookcreator.com.
That's it, okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you just go back one there, Mary, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Oh, I think I have to go back to the very start, Carmel, sorry.
And can you add your own pictures? Is that what you said? Somebody was asking.
Yeah, you can add your own pictures, your own sound, everything.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, I lost my way there again. We go back to where we were.
Well, there's actually another question somebody else was asking. Can you save and print the books? Because they want to use them for assessment purposes.
Can you save and print them?
Yeah.
You could definitely print it, yeah. Save it, you'll have it on your account. Yeah, there's definitely a way to, I haven't actually saved it down for that purpose yet, but.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe someone else that has used it might know the answer to that one.
Yeah, Claire Gallagher is saying you get 40 books, our free plan to get you started. Happy bookmaking. Create one library, store up to 40 books.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great facility altogether with 40 books. Here's another little one just to add in. Now, I know you've all probably done this. Would you rather questions? So posing a question to your group for a bit of fun, just to get debate and critical thinking, discussion, debate, communicating, defending your own opinion, why you think you should do something and somebody's thinking something else, being open to new perspectives, flexibility in thinking and adopting a new personal point of view. And I just have some sample questions on the next slide. So would you rather have to sing everything you say or yell everything you say? Or would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house? See, it's just a bit of fun to get everyone chatting. This one is a good one. Would you rather have everyone being able to read your thoughts, or for everyone you know having access to your internet history? So there's always a great bit of chat, and why wouldn't you want anyone to see your internet history and things like that, you know, good conversation and, you know, different ideas. So that's just another one. It's simple, it's at your fingertips. You don't have to have any prep for it. You can just bring it out into class and it gets everyone chatting and warms up the room.
And you can vary the questions according to the level of your learners.
Yeah, or even, you know, adapt them to suit whatever module you're covering.
Yeah.
Even meet a learning outcome or two.
So these are the tools and websites that we would generally use. There's lots of others, but I suppose we pulled out some that we kind of like using. And I know everybody here will have their own. So it's really what you're comfortable with yourself and what your learners are comfortable with. And everyone will have their own set of tools. Yeah. So I don't know how we're doing on time now, Fergus. We're probably after running over a bit there.
Yeah, we won't have time for the breakout rooms, but if you wanted to throw up your 2 questions and people could answer, either unmute themselves or type in their answers, or we kind of have come to the end, Mary, if you wanted to wrap up either. Some people are leaving already because they have classes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had planned to do breakout rooms and to give you an acrostic poem to do. But that's an idea that maybe you could use yourselves. And then really what we were kind of wanted to gather were people's ideas for what works for them, so that we kind of use this as a knowledge sharing kind of thing. So maybe if you have any ideas that you could put them in the chat and we'll share some of them then.
And great. And while people are doing that, somebody wants to know, what is Canva?
Canva, oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, Canva is like PowerPoint, except you can do nicer things with it. It allows you to create things like posters, invitations. There's templates for everything you could possibly want. Instagram posts. It's just really nice templates there that you can use. So
okay, great. I've never heard of it. Thanks.
And just, Claire Galligan is saying you can download the book and it puts it into Reader.
Okay.
So we might have to leave it there, Mary and Carmel. Quite a few people are texting in that they have to go. So just someone, Sarah Webster, saying I use Screencast-O-Matic, Kahoot, WordWall, Edpuzzle.
Okay, great.
Yeah, WordWall is brilliant. There's loads out there. I mean, once you start opening that, you're going down the route of looking for things, you'll find any amount. And it's, they are brilliant. There's great stuff out there for interactive tools for online. So we hope we were of some help to anyone, who was looking for a bit of information. And it was an absolute pleasure to come online and share what we're doing anyway with you today.
Yeah, and thank you for all taking time to come today. It was nice to have the opportunity to share what we're doing. Yeah.
Just for a thank you, Carmel and Mary, there's a good tip from Sheena Groom here. I just wanted to read out. Using the resources around the home works for me with beginners. For example, show them the difference between high heels and sandals. This is an opportunity you would not have had in the classroom, a bit like the way you did the game with Fergus today. So yeah, what's in the home.
It's a great idea. Yeah, just use what you have. It's a great idea, Sheena. Yeah, brilliant.
I'd just like to say thanks so much to Carmel and Mary. They really put a lot of effort in, and there's so many ideas there. And I can see from the chat that people really loved their ideas, their suggestions, and they really took their time and explained things well. So thanks very much, Carmel and Mary, for putting the effort in and giving a fantastic presentation. And thanks to everyone for tuning in and contributing, and it was good fun and it was interesting. So thanks again, Carmel and Mary. As I said, I will send on Carmel and Mary's presentation to you all, and we'll also put the recording of this up on the NALA YouTube channel in a day or two. Okay, so listen, thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.
Brilliant. Thank you.